Sundays for Millennial High on 106.5 FM WPPM People Power Media with Tia Whitfield, the #1 show in Philadelphia that wants to give you the best in artists, entertainment, education, health, fitness, and philanthropy. Millennial High is not just a show. It is here to inspire and provoke others to take action towards their purpose in life. So if you have an uplifting, thought-provoking message, get with us at Millennial High. That is millennialhigh@gmail.com.
Millennial High. Millennial High. Millennial High. Tia from Millennial High.
With the one and only Miss Tia Whitfield.
A 106.5 FM. Tune in.
Hey, it's event producer Josh Schoenwolf, and you're listening to Philadelphia's hottest inspirational talk show, Millennial High, hosted by the amazing Tia Shashai.
It's your girl, Tia Shashai, the host of Millennial High, where the trend-setting millennial comes for motivation, inspiration, and deep conversation. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2019. It's like basically 2020, though.
Yes, it feels like it. Not 2019, 2020. 2020.
How do you just skip a year like that? I have no idea, but I totally did.
Last year went by really fast.
It did go by super, super, super fast. I'm just thrilled to be back. I've been off the air for live. I haven't gone live in a while.
Yeah.
But this is like our first show back, 2019. I have new intro music written by my cousin, Marcus.
Shout out to the fam.
Yeah, shout out to the fam. He's so awesome. And when I heard it, I was just like, I love this. Give it to me. I love it. But no, this year will be great. It's going to be awesome. Great guest. This month of January, I have David, guest co-hosting with me on Sundays, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And I'm so thrilled. David, a.k.a. Spicy Brown.
That's right. That's right. Get into it and know it.
Yes. And if you remember, David was on my show last year, or last season, I should say.
It was like in October.
No, it was last year.
It was last year in October.
Yeah, in October. And so David's an author of a... Go ahead.
Oh, a book called Ladies Let Me School You. It's on Amazon.
It is a relationship
book.
And he gets into a lot of details on that. And then, so tune in to listen to that one show. I'll repost it today. But David's going to be talking about some like really cool things. So what's something that you plan on doing in 2019 or not doing?
Just changing my bad habits and being better me. Visualizing myself being successful and just hardworking.
Nice. Okay.
You know, don't let the roadblocks get in your way. Knock them down. Punch them, kick them, do what you gotta do.
Yes. So for me, I had so Gabby Bernstein is someone that I kind of follow online, and she's kind of like this spiritual guru. Her first book was called Spiritual Junkie, and ever since then she has kind of like this like cult following online.
Yeah.
And so she recently put out an article, and it was basically sleep as a spiritual practice, like getting more sleep, and how us as a society, we kind of make it, cool to, I only got 2 hours of sleep last night. But she goes,
function off of 2 hours.
You cannot function. But it's just like this whole thing. And this is the reason why, we'll talk about sleep deprivation a little bit later in the show. And I have some really interesting statistics for you and 5 ways to get more sleep. But something that prevails in like the entrepreneurial culture, right? The hustle. So our guest for today is Tracy Durrant, and she is based out of the UK. So she's going to be a phone call, which will be interesting and fun, right?
And this is our first overseas phone call.
So this is I haven't had an overseas phone call since my first show in 2017, and I vowed to never do it again.
This will be interesting. Calling over to the UK.
Yeah, but this will be interesting. So it's going to be a Skype call. So we'll see how that goes. So bear with us with that, okay? But Tracy, she's awesome. She is a spiritual type of entrepreneurial coach. And she's going to talk about her book. It's called Planet Now. But she focuses on entrepreneurial burnout. And how to combat that. And we're also going to focus on just one way to prevent burnout is by delegating responsibilities to other people.
Absolutely.
And how, sometimes it's hard to do that just as a solopreneur, But we'll talk about that a little bit with Tracy. But in the meantime, I'm going to play one of my favorite tracks. As I'm all about EDM and house music. So one of my favorite tracks is called Don't Leave Me Alone. And then when we come back on the other side, we're going to call Tracy.
Yes, I can't wait.
Okay. All right, David, I'm going to play the track. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Millennial High on 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Tia Shashai. I have a awesome, amazing, just all around, great person right next to me on my left. Aww. David Spicy Brown is here.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, listen. So we have our fingers crossed, right? Because we're about to skip over, what is it? Hop over the pond. What do they say? What is that term? He doesn't know it. I don't know. What is it called?
Hop, skip, and a jump?
Hop, skip, and a jump over the pond.
Over the BS.
He's out of control. Okay, we're going to call Tracy Durrant, okay? So I'm going to Skype this. But yeah, so Tracy is an awesome entrepreneur, and let's just all have our fingers crossed, okay?
Yes.
Tracy, you're listening. I know you are. I'm calling you right now. I'm going to turn up your mic too, David. All right, here we are. Tracy Durrant. Tracy, you there?
Hi,
Hello,
Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. Can you? I'm gonna read your bio though, but before that, I just kind of want you to say hi to the audience. I just want to make sure your mic's coming through clear.
Hello, everyone, and I hope that you can hear me good. I hope you're having a good start to the year, and you're enjoying the show so far.
Awesome.
Is that coming?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Perfectly.
Okay.
Tracy Durrant. Tracy is an intuitive business and lifestyle coach based in the UK. She has over 10 years of experience supporting creative and spiritual entrepreneurs in making a consistent income from their gifts. She is a mentor for the Sherry Blair Foundation for Women. She is an advocate for diversity and technology. She's spoken about this topic at the Open Source Convention in London in 2016. And Tracy is a first-time author, and I know that I'm so proud of you, Tracy, for that. I know you are proud of yourself.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Her first book, Plan It Now, Quit the Burnout Business and Become a Creative Entrepreneur. We're here to talk about that with Tracy today, and she's going to give us some tips and tricks for 2019, how to quit the burnout, right? And then also focus on one way to do that, and that's by delegating responsibility. So, Tracy, how are you?
I'm really, really good. How are you?
Good.
Amazing. I'm actually so happy right now. You can't even see it. Have I lost a smile on my face this entire time, David?
No, she has been very excited for this moment. I am too, because I can't wait to hear what you have to say, because it's very enlightening, especially for young people trying to get into that type of field. The education of your book is well needed.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, like you said, there's so much going on today. There's so many platforms, there's so much social media, and our attention can be very easily used up. That's what they want us to do, you know? But there's a way of using these things to our advantage. So it's all good, but it's just lots of different things we're all trying to manage today that I've found. And it's always evolving as well.
Exactly. So tell us about the inspiration behind your book, Plan It Now, Quit the Burnout Business and Become a Creative Entrepreneur.
Well, it kind of started with work that I was doing with clients and just seeing how so many people get overwhelmed when they cannot see how the different parts of their business come together. So they may think that they have a challenge with connecting with their customers, or they might think they've got a challenge. They might think it's they're not sure who their customer is. It can be so many different things, but without knowing how having a clarity on where the money's coming in, where is it going out, who could you collaborate with, and most important of all is why you're actually doing it and who you're serving. And all of these things help make up the framework of your business. And without that, people just can get really overwhelmed because you're trying a bit of this, you're trying a bit of that, and you're thinking, okay, things are not working, but you don't know why, because you haven't took the time to look at your plan. Or you've written a plan years ago and you've just been in the movement, in the motion of your business and not had a chance to reassess it. So that's why the book, it goes through planning your business on a page across 10 days, so that no matter what stage you are in business, you can get that clarity to know, okay, this area I kind of struggled with, I'm going to need support there, but just to move on. So it's a reading book, but it's more of a workbook because it's got lots of journaling prompts at the end of each section.
Oh, nice.
So it's 10 days of doing the work. And then at least you know where you need support. Or you might not need support, but at least you'll have that. You've done something to get yourself clearer before you go out into the world and say, I need help, but you don't know what you need help with.
Now, Tracy, talk about some of the conversations you've had with clients about burnout. I mean, I know sometimes, as just, in our kind of age bracket, we talked about this earlier, how it's kind of the cool thing to be that way. It's a cool thing to brag about your lack of sleep. I've got only got 3 hours of sleep because I've been working so hard. But what is that conversation like, and what do you tell them? Do you have any advice for that?
So in terms of people who just feel overwhelmed, because we have spoken about this before, and some online content can be about hustling and putting in all these hours and blah blah blah. But I have seen a shift in that as well, because there's definitely more people talking about having balance and self-care and understanding why you're doing it and all of these. So I do feel like it's shifting, but there has been a long time when there has been that energy around, I've got to keep doing stuff. So in terms of like what you asked me like about my clients, it really depends on the age group that they fall into, because I have some clients that are more like, I'd say like late millennials, so late 20s to mid 30s, and they've been more like sucked into the social media stuff and the overwhelm. But then at the other end, a bit older, they don't necessarily have this as, it's not really as a result of the internet. It might just be generally being overwhelmed, because when you're in business for a while, it can just get like that, because if you just don't, I think it can be for anybody.
Yeah. So then talk about, because I know you have this one article that you just posted. I have a Medium account too, but I know that you wrote an email about it. But one of the ways that you talk about like alleviating this burnout, or, part of self-care really is delegating responsibility. Can you just go into that?
Yeah. So in that email and the blog post, I talk about there's two main reasons why people just don't delegate, and it's that they're either not sure what to delegate, or they're not sure how to communicate that role or task to another person, because they're used to doing it all themselves. So those are the two reasons that I found are quite common, especially with clients. It's like not having a system for certain aspects of what they do, or not trusting someone else to do that as well as them. So, so I give like 2 tasks in this blog. I talk about listing everything that you do in your business, and then just selecting some things from that list that someone else could do better than you. And it is about being self-aware, because we cannot do everything the best. Like there's people that are better at us at doing certain parts of our business, and we do need to let go and be honest about that. So there is a chapter where I talk about exploring your zone of genius, which is a term from Gay Hendricks in The Big Leap, but really getting honest about what it is that you really love doing in your business, and then what other parts is someone else's joy. They love to do that thing, and then starting to step by step, you can't do it all, but step by step, moving that over to other people, so that you can have the brain space to really look at your business and grow.
So, okay. So one thing is, it's getting people, it's vetting the people too, it's building that team. So I know for me, like I always talk about, I'm going to get an intern, someone college age broadcasting, and broadcasting as a major or something, to come on in. But then, like you said, that's one major problem that I do have, is just like, I'll just do it myself, and then it either not getting done or getting done later, way later than it's supposed to be. Like, do you have that problem, David? Do you, like, what about you? Like when you wrote your book, David? Yeah. What about that process? Did you feel burnout, or you were just inspired in the moment and just kept writing? Did you experience burnout?
So how I did experience burnout when I just kept like forcing myself to write like every night. Like it was a constant beat down. I was like beating in my head. I need to write a page. I need to do a page a day. If I don't do a page a day, I'm going to fall behind. And mind you, I'm doing other things. I have 2 other jobs. It was just like, it was very hard for me to keep up. But I had to tell myself, I cannot do this. It's not fair to me. I shouldn't have to stress myself out for this. This is a passion. If it's something that I love to do, I need to pace myself. It shouldn't be something I should be stressed about. You know what I mean? So I took a break. I took a couple days off. I took 3 days off and came back to it. I had to force myself into self-care.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
So when I went back to it, I was like, wow, I'm glad I took a break. Like, let me get back to this. Like, let me start doing this. You know, it made me like want to love it more. Sometimes you got to do that to yourself. That's
a good gauge too, to be honest, is to if what you love no longer is fun or is no longer like it's a form of stress, it's a cause of stress rather than fulfillment.
And that's why I always tell I was telling a good girlfriend of mine, because she owns a restaurant business. She works herself to death every day, and I was like, you need to take 2 days out the week to cater yourself, because if it comes to the point where it's not fun anymore,
right,
then you got to do something else or space out your time. You have to change your schedule. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you ever had to take a break, Tracy?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, girl. Okay.
I take breaks all the time, but I mean, I talk about this burnout thing because I did really burn out. So in the first introduction, I do just talk about something back in 2011, I think it was, when I was in Portugal, and I did feel really burnt out, and I needed to just start cutting things away. All of the things I was doing at the time, it was just like one by one, I was just stopping them all and starting again. But that was then. And sometimes if you don't take note of the smaller signs, a bit like what you were saying, David, with writing the book and just going, okay, I need to have a break. If you don't notice it and you don't take a break, then you're kind of being forced to take a break in some way. It could be like you get a sore throat, or it could be something that just goes, look, you're going to need to take a break. So I don't really get to that point now because I'm more aware of I need to have a rest, or I listen to myself more. So I'll go in, if I need to go out and just not be anywhere near the computer, then I'll do that, and I'm okay with having all of my notifications turned off as well. And I'm not worried about missing anything.
Yeah, I love that you said that.
It comes.
I love
what
that.
About you? Do you have all of them?
Go ahead, Tracy.
What happened?
Oh, we might have some connection issues again. Tracy, can you hear me? Well, in the meantime,
I can hear you fine
okay,
now.
Awesome. So what were you saying before that short interruption? See, even the microphones had to take a break.
Exactly. Perfect example. Sometimes the technology needs to have a break.
Right.
I was asking if you have your notifications on, and because I was saying how I turn things off, and I'm okay with not needing to know exactly what's going on everywhere.
I think that's I love that. I think that's so key, because honestly, I remember I would feel so stressed because I would have my volume on, on my phone. So I would hear like the ping, ping, or my text message going off, or a phone call. And you don't understand. It's like you're always on. Like you always have to be on, especially with the cell phone. Yeah. But now, like, it's always on silent, and then I have certain numbers, like my daughter's number, that can break through. There's something that you can do with my particular phone, that there's certain numbers, even if it's on silent, they can still ring through. But that's so great, because honestly, you don't even realize just the pressure, or just seeing just just like a ton of emails, like notifications. Yeah. I just don't get, like, I used to get every notification, even for IG, every social media I used to get notifications for. And then even on my lock screen, it'll still come down. But I've realized that was like a source of stress. Like I felt like, okay, there's something else I have to do. There's something else I have to do.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is something that we deal with now. It hasn't always been here.
Right.
To have all of these disruptions. And that's what they are. There's a book about, I think it's called The Brain at Work, but in that book, it does talk about like every time you stop doing a task, even if it's for a second to check a message, it takes you off of track. And then you have to then build up momentum again to get back into that thing you were doing.
Oh, that
and
is
then
so
we
true.
have so many little things that could distract us. So that's another thing. But it's as I said before, it's the self-awareness and the layers of it. So understanding how your brain works and understanding how you use time and what you're giving your energy to, all of that.
Now, there are, just to kind of sum up, so the two common reasons why entrepreneurs don't delegate is because they're not sure what to delegate, or they're not sure how to communicate that role and task to someone else. And then you gave some examples. I know in the article, I think you said one or two things here, which is like social media scheduling or something you can delegate, research you can delegate, administrative tasks you can delegate. And you also mentioned just list everything you do in your business. List what you do in your business, and then select 3 things that someone else can do better than you. Right? So, that's good.
That's a good start.
Yeah, that's a good start.
It's a good start. But then you could, if you read the chapter, it's day 6, I go through it in a bit more detail in terms of your activities and, but you can, it's an important part of your business. And I know that you mentioned about getting an intern. And that's one of those things. Like sometimes people say they want to get an intern, but they haven't got a system for that intern to slip into so that they know this is how Tia works.
Yeah, because it's all in my head.
Yeah.
It's all in my head. I have no process. Like, it's all in my head. It's something like, okay, well, I get an intern, but then I have to stand next to them because, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. It's still not freeing me up. I mean, I guess eventually it could, once they learn it. But no, so that's so great. So I wanted to say there's one thing before you go. I just wanted to talk to you about. It's just that you have a quote that you are an artist, you are creative. It's your mission to share your truth. Something magic happens when you do. And I like that. I like that. It's gentle. It's nice. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so it's your mission to share your truth. What are just maybe 1 or 2 things that you can think of right now? I know it's kind of like off the cuff, but what you can think of that someone listening, what can they do to share their truth?
That's such a good question. I think one of the things is to really think about what you love. Sounds so cheesy, but think about what you really love to do, and then make it your mission to share that, whatever it is. Because I think a lot of the time we can drift away from things that we really truly love, which is usually what we've came here to share with the world. So remind me of the question again. Let's see if I've answered it.
You have. I mean, so it's what can someone do to share their truth? Because you're saying it's our mission to do so, and when you do that, something magic happens, something magical takes place. So I'm saying I love that.
So like how to?
Yeah. So it's
there's
gentle.
so many different ways. So it could be written in a book, sharing it. It could be, we've got so many publishing platforms. It could be sharing your own version of a quote or what you believe in, or what you're passionate about. It could be just speaking on topics that move you. But you first need to understand what you're really passionate about and what you truly love, which most of us kind of know, but sometimes we don't take the time to look at that. I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
Oh, for me, I would say basically I was thinking of writing a book too. Or maybe if writing a book sounds like a daunting task, and just a blog post, or maybe sharing more of your thoughts on video. Right now, like you said, we have so many platforms. Anyone at this particular point in time, you might not be able to get on FM radio, but you can still, have a podcast, which are awesome. You know what I mean? And
that seems to be the trending thing with the podcast. People like to do that.
Exactly. And also, and then it doesn't even have to be like a platform. It can just be you're at work or you're with a friend and just speaking your truth to them. Yeah. Because something magical happens. I know David and I, we met over coffee the other day. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And just like we were just open and honest with each other. We shared some moments, and it was just like, it was a really nice meeting. Like I would say that was magic, you know? It's magic.
I love that because
magic.
Oh, okay.
Genuine, organic energy. Yeah. Nothing should ever be stressed.
Yeah.
It should always come naturally. It always should be fun and easy going. Because, and not to say that life, when you go through life, some days you'll have good days, some days you'll have bad days, but that's just life. But when you're doing something that you love, it should be like easy. It should never be hard.
Downstream, to be flowing downstream. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I love it there. I love that.
Thank you, Tracy. And can you just like drop all your social media stuff?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So you can connect with me and find out more about my book and what I do in the world on my website, which is www.tracydurrant.com. That's TracyDurrant.com. That's the website. Everything links from there. Okay. The book Planet Now is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It's available in there as well.
Cool.
So I know you have that over there. So
we have plenty.
I'm surprised you don't have a Barnes and Noble in the UK.
No, I think we've got a different version of it, but we don't have that store.
Okay.
But it's on Amazon, and the direct link to the URL for Amazon is just smarturl.it/getplanetnow.
All right now.
Yeah?
Get Planet Child. Yes, I'm going to get all my life together, child.
smarturl.it/getplanetnow book. Yeah, but come and check it out. Leave me a review. Let me know if you do read it.
Absolutely.
Let me know.
Yeah.
But more than reading it, actually, it's more to go through the method in 10 days and see if you or how you get clarity in doing that.
Awesome. And one more thing. I just want to thank you. Thank you for reaching out. It's always nice talking to you and chatting with you. I see you online all the time. And you're doing big things. So congratulations to you. I hope your 2019 is amazing, Tracy.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me back on the show.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. We're proud of you.
Okay. See, I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. That was Tracy Durrant, ladies and gentlemen. And my mic has like a mind of its own. I don't even know.
It keeps stretching back when you're leaning forward.
I'm leaning forward. It's just like moving, like to me, away from me, all over the place. And it's so interesting. But that was Tracy, Planet Now. I'm going to share all the information. I know I shared one of her lives on Facebook, and it was really good. And she was just talking about her book and things that you can do. She went into a little more detail there, and it is on my page, Millennial High, on Facebook, and I will share her links as well there. In the meantime, we're going to go to a break, and then it's going to be David and I just talking about 2019, just some tips and tricks, things to do, things not to do. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna play another one of my songs that I fell in love with over the break, and it is Falls by, I love Seven Lions. And I know, David, you said you had a friend that loves EDM, and just ask her, what she thinks about this one. But it's first time Seven Lions featuring Dylan Matthew. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM here in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Tia Shashai of Millennial High. I have a guest host today, David, a.k.a. Spicy Brown.
Yes. What's good?
We just talked to Tracy Durrant from the UK. We did a fun Skype call. I think it went pretty well. I mean, it was a little technical difficulty. A little bit. But no, it was good. So,
yeah.
For Tracy, she has a book called Planet Now. And basically what she discussed was just being overwhelmed, or that burnout that entrepreneurs feel, and how to alleviate some of that, or how to get back to yourself
and delegate tasks.
Exactly. It's to delegate
it's less
tasks.
work on you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so just basically write down the top things that you need to do for your business, or your podcast, or your radio show, or what have you. You write all those things down, and then you pick 3 or 4 of them and say, okay, well, who can I delegate this to? Who can be a part of my team, and they actually do this better than I, so I can alleviate, and I can alleviate some of my time. I can free up some of my time to just alleviate stress. So that was a fun talk with Tracy, and now we are going to talk about I did a little research into, because I'm telling you this whole big thing about getting more sleep for me in 2019. I gotta do it. I mean, and even for my daughter, in teens, they say need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and adults need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So I found this. They say there's an estimated 50 to 70 million Americans that have ongoing sleep disorders. We are just not getting enough sleep as a society. And I mean, at this particular point in time, why is that, right?
I think it has a lot to do with anxiety. Like you said, we do a lot, and it's to the point we're constantly thinking. Our minds are racing when we're ready to go to sleep. It's just really hard.
It is. And the interesting thing is, and it's not even just sleep, laying in bed, but it's just real sleep. You're going to that REM, that deep theta sleep. You know what I mean? And that's that 7 to 8 hours that they're talking about. Yes. Not you're tossing and turning in your bed, because that's just not good enough at this particular point in time, right? But I am. So the research came from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, and they do all these in-depth studies of sleep and how, we need to get more sleep. And that's my 2019 goal, is to get more sleep. And so they actually wrote, there's so much research out there, and I'll share the link. But basically, it's kind of insufficient sleep is a common and fast-growing problem in the U.S., and almost a third of adults are reporting they get less than the recommended amount of sleep. But they share 5 important ways that you can begin to get better sleep. So the first way is to establish a regular, relaxing bedtime routine. Do you have one of those?
Yes.
You do. So how do you start settling down for the night?
I turn everything off, my computer, my phone, everything's done, my notes and stuff for the next day. And I force myself, sometimes all my electronics are in another room. I don't want to look at them, because if I look at them, I'm going to get up and pick them up.
And that's exactly what they say, actually. They say a good place to start are computer screens, including the artificial light from our cell phones.
Yeah.
Because our
It triggers us.
It triggers us.
As soon as you see that light, you're like, I have to answer a call or a text.
Exactly. That light makes you wake up. Like that light makes you feel like you're more awake than what you really should be.
Yeah.
So it's saying that's one thing that you need to do to establish a regular relaxing bedtime routine is to put the phone down, you guys. Because it's so easy like to go to bed, lay in bed, and then just like, oh, let me just scroll on my phone until I fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I know one thing. I have an Apple product, and I know what they do. I don't know if they do it on Androids or whatever, but there's a time that you can, it's like you do it you set it in your like alarm area, and you put the time that you want, like a downtime, and automatically dims your screen. Like, so, because I already have a dim screen anyway, but it automatically dims your screen just so you can say, okay, well, it's time to relax now. It's kind of like a sleep mode concept, but not really.
Interesting.
So that's the one. So they say that establish a regular relaxing bedtime routine. 2 is commit to getting the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And like we talked about before, that is how you get. That is something that we need to do, is just to get that amount of sleep. And it says that just a lot of the studies that they've done, lack of sleep, can lead to health problems, irritability in the morning, depression, weight gain.
Yes.
Like there's so
Emotional
much
eating.
I'm
guilty.
So am I.
Which brings me to my next topic and how we're talking about getting good sleep. One of the things that I have researched is choosing a substitute for your bad habit. Mm-hmm. So we talk about the phone, right? How the phone light keeps us up and stuff. Okay, so if you must have to have your phone in your room, play some calm music. There is music out there that is dedicated to your sleep apnea. Like if you have bad sleep, like you could play like calm music with the sound of the birds, the trees, the waves. That actually helps.
Not birds.
Well, like
I'm joking.
calm birds.
It's just me. I don't know. Every time I try, like, so I listen to like a lot of meditation, MP3s or what have you. And once I hear like a bird, I'm like, no.
Not that annoying bird, but like that calm bird. And also, Miss Anita Baker, I love you so much. She has calm music. She helps me go to sleep too when I hear it.
Yeah.
In a good way. Just her voice is so soothing. Like,
you know what I love too? I'm not going to lie. So everyone talks about, I mean, it's been around for like so long now, maybe like 5 or 6 years, but now it's popularized just by certain artists doing it. It's like those ASMR type of videos that help you like go to sleep or feel relaxed. I'm going to have, a person I'm going to have on the show. She has like over 1 million followers on YouTube, and she's kind of like one of the top ASMR artists. So she'll be on the show this season. So that's going to be fun.
That's awesome.
That's going to be fun. And I've been following her for so long. I think she's one of the first videos that I've ever saw. That was like 6 years ago. But yeah, so continue. I know you have your list. I have my list. And so back to my list. So also too is spend time outside every day when possible. I think we all do, right?
Yeah.
Just because it kind of like helps you get to sleep just by being active.
Yes.
And then one thing about being active is when you do, like if you work out, don't work out too late at night. Yeah. Because it kind of like revs you up and it's hard to kind of calm down. Because I always thought like, oh, if I worked out now, I'm going to be tired like in an hour. But that's not true. I always feel like more alive, right? After you work out, I feel like I can do anything.
They say to do it like early in the morning. But
I tried that. Have you tried that?
I usually do. I usually actually walk around like outside my neighborhood for like a whole hour. But because it's so cold,
How early?
I would say like 8.
Oh, I'm done. 8 o'clock is not early.
Well, maybe like 7:30, 8, depending on how I feel.
I would get up at 5 a.m. I used to do this. It's called Black Girls Run.
Okay.
And the meeting time near where I live, the closest point where I live was 5 a.m.
No, that's too early.
It is so early, and that's why.
And that's dark.
Stop. It is dark.
I'd be scared.
But you're running as a group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're and actually, and it's not like. So basically what it is, and maybe I should have a representative on the show too, but basically it's so cool. But what it is that you have like 2 leaders, and then anyone can go. I mean, it's Black Girls Run, but anyone can go, and you don't have to run. You can walk, you can jog, you can, but everyone goes at their pace, right? And there's always someone with you. Too, like, you're not going to be the only walker, if you go. Yeah. So,
because I need a team member. I can't be doing this by myself.
Yeah, no. And that kind of like alleviates that whole, like, it's dark because you're with someone else. And it's so cool because you get to see the sunrise.
Hopefully with Mace.
Right. You get to see the sunrise. Well, it's not, I mean, it's nice. It's a scenic view too, but you get to see the sunrise and things. But I'm gonna try to start that again. That's another 2019 thing that I want to stop from doing. So I want to stop from not being active. Does that make sense? So I definitely want to probably get out there and do that again.
Or just like doing basic exercises in your home, like doing the Zumba, like on a video game, or like jumping jacks. Yeah.
And another thing is too, we on demand, sometimes they have fitness things on demand.
Yeah.
And I can do it. Sometimes I find it boring unless it's like a dance thing. Like you said, Zumba, that's always fun. If it has good music, I'm in it to win it. And then also, like you said, another thing is for good sleep is to listen to music. Have something, help you get to sleep. That was a good point.
Yes, cutting out the many triggers as possible. When you become stressed or bored, and usually when people are stressed or bored, they tend to backslide. So they go back into their old ways. But figure out like new things that you could do that will keep you in a positive headspace. Like change it up. Like instead of eating late at night, get yourself like light stuff like granola or something. Like you don't always have to have that cheeseburger.
Right, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, or just like little baby carrots or something, and if you have to snack on something. But you're absolutely right, because sometimes, and that's another thing that goes to the burnout and that goes to the sleep deprivation, everything that the eating, the snacking late.
Yeah.
You need, like, honestly, I realize that when I stay up later than what I should, I end up snacking.
Yep.
And that's just not the way to be. Or if if I have something that's due and let's just say it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning to keep me awake because I really want to be asleep, I start snacking.
And that's the thing. You don't always have to start out heavy. You could start out small and make yourself like a cheat sheet, like a habit change cheat sheet. It doesn't have to be complicated. You could do like a 30-day challenge. And one of the things that the lady we were speaking to was talking about the 10-day challenge, where she's saying to challenge yourself in a better way. Write stuff down. Make a plan for yourself. Don't just do one habit at a time. You could do many, but make sure you keep it small so that way you can extend it to be better, and you could just change yourself all around. So
I like that. I like the writing things down. My mic keeps flying all over the place. I don't know what's wrong with the thing, but I do. I like that writing things down. I love the list making.
Stay vigilant and stay away from temptation.
So what temptation are you going to stay away from? Keep it G.
Like the phone calls, that come in at 3:00. Sometimes we have to mute them. But no, like the phone by the bedstand, put it in the other room. Your computer, put it in the other. You don't need it. Put it away. Your room should just be you in the bed, your nighttime music. That's it. You don't need nothing else. This is about your self-care, your self-direction to keep focus.
Right.
We let a lot of things distract us that are unnecessary.
Yeah, like the bedroom should be a sanctuary. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So then I guess I would have to go back to the old school and getting like an alarm clock.
Yeah.
Because, some people use their cell phones as their alarm. So if I'm keeping it in the other room for sake of 2019, getting sleep, just go old school alarm clock.
And also to change the habits, our attitude. If we change the way we look at the change, like if we change our attitude and how we look at our situation, it'll be better for us. Sometimes we go in and be like, I don't want to do this. Da da da. You ain't gonna want to change then. You got to be willing to do something.
And you have to, and like you're right, your attitude towards it, your perception towards it, because you have to even believe
that you could do it.
That you could do it.
Visualize greatness.
Yeah. You know what? And I think next week, one of the things I want to talk about towards the end of the show will be just like visualization and the meaning of that. What is that? And the benefits of it. I think that would be something cool to go over.
That's a perfect show.
Okay, so first show back. This was a lot of fun.
I had so much fun.
I'm gonna play the theme music again. You guys, I love it so much. Marcus, if you're listening,
thank you, Marcus.
I love it. And then in the meantime, though, thanks for listening. Thank you, David.
No problem
for being here. I will be seeing you next week.
Yes.
Next week is going to be actually the next 3 weeks, we're going to be filming a Millennial High Live, 3 Millennial High Live shows in a row. So that I'm still doing that. So that's the TV show portion too. So it's like I do my radio show and a TV show all in the same hour, and it's actually really cool and a lot of fun. So David, you'll get to experience that.
Whoop whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for being on the show.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, you were awesome. And thank you, David. Thank you, everyone, for listeking. Happy 2019.
Have a great week.
Have a great week.
Put those phones away when it's bedtime.
I'm going to try. Listen. Actually, okay. I have an idea.
What's
so
that?
We only have a couple more seconds left, but what we should do is that let's just try that. Let's try one thing from your list to do for this week.
Okay.
7 days. So on Sunday, we'll come back and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to try to leave my phone outside of my bedroom at night and then go to bed every night at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
And I'm going to try choosing a better substitute for my bad habit, which means night music.
Yes, there we go. And, okay, I believe in you. As always, have a happy Sunday and stay lit, love, inspired, and true. Until next time, bye. And I'm going to end with a little Bollywood, you guys. I love Bollywood. All right, until next time, bye.